There are two people who are misusing my good friend Baba. My very good friend Baba is being misused by two people. The first category of people, they view him as, I don't know if you remember that medicine called Mwams or Muarubaini. One that can cure all diseases, you know. As long as you have Baba, you think, oh, you can cut corners, you can do this. You can, no. Society has changed. That reality is about to crumble.
That person include President William Ruto?
I'm just saying many people they like to use Baba, even people who want seats, even people from his backyard who says, as long as Baba is there, we are going to have an easy ride to Parliament.
Does that include President
That's number one. Ruto? Number two.
Kuria, does that include President William Ruto?
Give me the whole list, then I can pick who.
No.
Don't take me Don't take me that direction.
The reason I'm asking that, because we are talking about ODM-UDA pact.
Yes, and I'm just saying, I am warning UDA that I'm not a member of UDA, so it is within my province to warn UDA, to caution, not to warn, to caution UDA. Let me be soft. To caution UDA that Baba is not Mwams and Baba is not Muarubaini. Baba cannot cure all diseases in the southern hemisphere. No, that's number one. Number two, some other people called governors. Please stop using Baba as an influencer. I know we are building the creative economy, but there are some people even from his views of saying, please don't, at the Senate, don't summon governors. Tangurini, something that is so clear in the Constitution. And I suspect governors are using Baba as an influencer. Baba is our statesman, he's not your influencer.
For what?
You know, for all those policy changes, like our digital influencer, for example, or a poster boy or something like that. No, Baba is our statesman. Stop using Baba as your influencer. Leave influencers to other people who are in that creative.
So where are you now?
I'm a private citizen.
Politically?
Well, politically, I'm a political animal. We are getting to 23 months before the next general elections.
Yeah.
So obviously every politician in the field is going to be active for the next 23 months. And I'm no exception.
I'm asking that question because Moses, you sacrificed your political party, Chama cha Kazi.
No, I did not sacrifice.
What did you do? No,
I did not sacrifice. We are just a member of the Kenya Kwanza coalition.
So that decision that was taken, I think it was late 2022 or early 2023, what was it?
No, we were having that suggestion and members refused.
Suggestion to
fold the party. Remember that time there was all this urabaru about folding parties. Musalia folded his party. Myself and Wetangula and some people were saying, no, we're not going to fold our parties. And it was a democratic decision.
So Chama cha Kazi is still operational?
It's still there, it's operation.
I'm asking that because if you look at the other political parties, so let's start with Ford Kenya, that was in a coalition with UDA. They still have their leader as the speaker.
Yes.
The party led by Amason Kingi,
yes.
They still have Amason Kingi as the speaker.
Yes.
The party led by former speaker Justin Muturi,
yes.
Democratic Party. Muturi is out, but Honorable Ruku is there as a representative of DP. If you look at ANC, yes, merged, but Musalia Mudavadi is still the Prime Cabinet Secretary.
Yes.
There's nobody from Chama cha Kazi.
Absolutely.
In cabinet.
Yes, there's no one in cabinet.
Why?
That's true.
How did that happen?
Well, it is up to the appointing authority. Now how can you ask me now?
No, because you had an agreement with the party leader of UDA.
Yeah, well, but Kenya is like that. Some agreements are honored, some are not honored. I cannot claim to be having a postal address in heaven. I live on this earth, and betrayals do happen.
Betrayals?
Yes.
So why were you removed as a cabinet secretary? Was any explanation ever given?
No, never. Never.
Did you ever speak to the president about that?
How can I? Why would I be entitled to ask? Did I speak to him when he appointed me? Did I tell him, so...
Because your party entered into a coalition with the president.
Well, let me put it this way, Sam Gituku.
Yeah.
The much I want to say about this issue. Nobody, since Julius Gikonyo Keano, Nicholas Biwott, and Mukisa Kitui, has ever made a stab at industry in this country as Moses Kuria when he was Minister for Trade. That's a fact. That will go down on record. Yeah? Nobody tried to reform, for example, NYS and all that, like the way I tried to reform and that kind of thing. For the 20 months that I was in cabinet, I'm very proud. I look back with a lot of pride and I walked with my head high.
Yes.
And I sleep sound. I sleep very sound. I sleep very sound. But I'm also a firm believer that I don't have to be in government for me to be able to make positive change in society.
And
I am making positive change in my own humble way, even outside government. You know, the topics that mean something to me.
Let's talk about, because around June 2025, you gave an interview and said that one of the things I remember is that you would be the 6th president of the Republic.
Yes, I still hold that dream.
A month later, you're out of work.
Yes.
Did you resign or are you fired?
I resigned.
Why?
I resigned one day after Sabasaba, Sam. And I resigned because Sabasaba shattered me. Shattered me totally. I was actually outside the country and I was on a flight coming. And I was even on the flight, because we had internet on the flight. I was coordinating on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I would get information from some wonderful people in Roiro, Thika, and all these places, and then I would coordinate with security agencies. And then, you know, that day I remember, I think some places like Roiro, like Thika, like Kiserian. Some places I really used my access in government that time to stop it. Then ahead of all that mayhem, you know, I am known to a lot of business people, the people who sell supermarkets were burnt and all that kind of thing. So I really talked to them and I really felt them. And by the way, you know, you look at these things as, for example, Maguna supermarket. Are you aware that the things which are inside there are not necessarily Magunas? There's somebody who has taken a stock on what we call consignment to be sold.
Right.
So the impact was so huge. So the following day, I asked some people, people in both sides. I talked to people in the opposition. I asked them, what is this? It is said that it is you people who are organizing the mayhem. Why you organize violence against our own people? They told me it is not me, it is government. And then I talked to people in government, in all the levels, including the president himself. I told them, Mr. President, the opposition people are claiming that it is government people who are doing all this destruction. And the president almost took the Bible. Then I asked myself, where am I? Is it government which is right, or is it opposition which is right? And I found myself in that unfortunate situation. I don't know who to believe. Yeah? I don't know. You know, I said, okay, let me just sit on that pedestal whereby I can be able to see things much more clearly, because in any case, that Magunas, that county supermarket in Muranga, does it matter whether it is Wamonyoro people or government people who are burning the supermarket? It wouldn't matter less for those people.
Okay.
So I said, look, there comes a time when some of us, you know, have to start somewhere where really you can be able to answer every question that your conscience asks you.
So when on the day you made that decision, you said it's the 8th of July. How was that meeting with the president?
Well, on the 8th of July, I went and told the president, it is hazy right now, and I feel like I need to have my head out there to be able to look at things more clearly, and really be neutral in this conversation, so that truth can be able to come out. Because when you have got
and he agreed with you?
Well, can someone make you work by force?
Because there are claims that you actually fired.
But I said, why are there claims where I have said something in writing? Do you have my filing letter?
I'm asking, I mean...
No, you should have a kidogo intelligent conversation, because where I have said in writing that I have resigned, I put even online my resignation letter.
Which you sent to the Chief of Staff.
Yeah, Chief of Staff.
Yes.
You now come and claim I was fired. Me, I have got two things. I have got my social media message to say I have resigned, and I have got my actual resignation. You want to come here and ask me a question, and you want me to respond, and you have nothing.
No, I'm asking you.
No, but why? When I have got hard evidence, you cannot ask me unless you say there is this document, there is this letter, there is this filing letter. I think that is
because
no, that is abuse of stereotype.
In this country,
that's abuse of stereotype.
In this country, Honorable Moses Kuria, there are people who've been asked to resign.
Okay, simple answer then, so that we don't debate all of that.
Yeah.
I was not fired, and I was not asked to resign.
Okay.
And the president actually regretted the fact that I resigned. He really regretted.
How so? There's no document to show that?
No, I'm saying from my conversation with him, he regretted the fact that, I mean, it was unfortunate, as in his words. You know, he told me it is your decision, but it's unfortunate.
So there are reports that there used to be a special room at the Intercontinental Hotel where bribes would be collected. Any information about that?
Before the advent of phone cameras or after?
Tell me about what you know about that room.
No, that's what I'm saying. If there was indeed such a room, then it could have been captured on camera. Mm-hmm. It could have been captured on camera. And by the way, let me turn this conversation, Sam. In normal situation, Parliament is supposed to vote on the issue of parliamentary leadership, but they don't. At least comes from State House and from the other powers. And what happens in Parliament is just a ritual. Mm-hmm. So, as a matter of fact, the issue of who appointed Moses Wetangula, members of William Ruto. It's William Ruto. Who appointed Kimani Ichung'wah? It's William Ruto. Who appointed Amason Jeffa Kingi? It's William Ruto. Who appointed Aaron Cheriot? It's William Ruto, and Parliament just rubber-stamped. Who appointed Junet Mohammed as the leader of the minority? It's Raila Odinga. Who appointed Stewart Mazayo as a minority in the Senate? It's Raila Odinga. So I think here we have got some chefs who are complaining about the taste of their own soup.
So if you were still advising the president, and we know what we know now, what would that advice look like?
To just remain institutional and believe in the processes. Institutionalize the processes. Because we cannot go back to knee-jerk reactions. We cannot go back to what I would call instant coffee approach towards fighting corruption. It has been done before. Kibaki did it, sent some people home. Uhuru did it. Moi at one time, brought in those technocrats when there was a lot of corruption. So it is what I would call motion without movement. What we need to do is to strengthen our institutions and believe in the processes. Yeah, we are not short of constitutional mandate for our bodies to be able to carry out this whatever. By the way, I'm a supporter of most of those programs, and I'm not one hypocrite to come today. I'm saying this, tomorrow I'm saying the other. The point I'm making is maybe I'm getting too complicated. Even if Parliament is corrupt, how do they pass all these bills which we needed as government to carry out our agenda? If they are being bribed for example, anti-money laundering, a government bill, how do you now know that they were not bribed for the other things? So I think it's opening, the point I'm making is opening a very dangerous Pandora's box, where you can't now differentiate between what was passed in a legit way and what was passed by inducement. But and this is a sword. It can cut this way and it can cut that way.
That's what I'm asking, because the president spoke about committees' demand for money to give favorable reports. As a cabinet secretary, did you find yourself in such a situation at any given time?
I never gave any committee money.
Was it demanded?
No, it was not demanded, because they can only demand if you have something to hide. Yeah, they can only demand if you have something to hide. And I was oversighted by up to 4 committees. Up to 4 committees were oversighting me.
When you listen to the president accusing members of parliament of extortion, you've been a member of parliament, you've been a cabinet secretary, you've been an advisor, so you've been on both ends of this. Is this something you've witnessed?
Well, there are always allegations.
Yeah.
And the line between what is not acceptable and lobbying, some people will hide on this side or the other. Yeah. So there have always been. You remember when in the 12th Parliament, we were given some money by the Uhuru Kenyatta regime to remove Eden Duale as a majority leader. And you remember, it's unanswered. I waived the money I was given there. So you cannot say it doesn't happen, and it is bound to happen.
Do you mind reminding us how much it was?
It was 100,000. We were given 100,000 per person to remove Eden Duale as a majority leader and put in place Amos Kemunya. And I went to the floor of the house and I said, this is the money I was given, 100,000 shillings to remove Eden Duale, and I offered to give it back, So.
And what did the speaker do at the time?
Well, there was no follow-up from the office of the speaker at that particular time. Remember, we were all swallowed by that nonsense that we were all Jubilee, so therefore we are all bound by that collective.
So tell me, reaction by the members of parliament, they appear quite agitated. They want the president summoned. They want him to explain who are these members of parliament you're pointing at.
In the year 2020, and it was covered in the media, I complained as a Jubilee member of parliament that we were captured because we belong to the ruling party, and therefore the high borrowing and all that kind of thing, the uncontrolled expenditures were because we didn't have that independence. Being members of, remember I was in the budget committee.
Yes.
So today, to have a situation whereby the executive and parliament are fighting, Kenya is happier.
Kenya's happier.
We are better off.
We'll get back to
at least now the yoke of the stranglehold of Parliament by the executive is over. I wish they continue fighting.
You think it is? Let's begin with the developments. The latest one being the appointment, the establishment of that multi-agency team by the president to fight corruption. What's your take on this?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, any effort that goes to fighting this, scourge of corruption is welcome. So there's no real wasted effort. You cannot say that this is a waste or it's not the right thing to do. And there's no one thing that can be done that will surface that or can, actually replace all the other mechanisms. So I think it is good. I only have two concerns. One, I would have expected the president to name not a whole of government approach, but a whole of society approach. I mean, broaden it beyond government. In fact, the mere leadership of that team being under the executive office of the president would point to some very worrying situation, because it is actually a team that can sit together and agree or connive on what to do. There's no external checks and balances, and we have been through that before. Right. We've seen weaponization. Because
I'm looking at that team, it has, of course, like
the composition
the chairmanship is the executive office of the president.
Absolutely.
EACC are members to it, office of the director of public prosecution.
These people, they have the mandate one way or the other.
And this
without the executive office of the president.
Yeah.
And now all of them now have been taken under the management of the executive office of the president. So one, these are people already with a mandate to fight corruption. Yeah, there's nothing new. Yeah, the only new thing is that there's a prefect now called the executive office of the president, which is going to, brings to question impartiality or how independent that multi-agency team could be. If it was a whole of society approach, it would make more sense, to have the church, to have somebody else, yep. People who would ensure that that process is serious, is sustainable, and has got some element of fairness. But right now, purely on the basis of composition, I've got my doubt. And the other doubt, of course, is the timing. Because you would have expected, this coming less than 24 hours after what happened at KCB Karen is by that, just by that only, suspicious.
Okay.
And on that, Parliament and Judiciary have not been, they are not represented in that team.
Yeah.
Yeah. And two, it would have made sense to have that yesterday and then the public proclamation today. Because I remember during the times of President Uhuru Kenyatta, the people, those of us who are supporting William Ruto, were accusing Uhuru Kenyatta of an unsystematic approach on the war against corruption. Like knee-jerk or weaponization or not thought through, instead of institutionalization. So I think more and more it is we are heading in that direction.
Non-systematic approach.
Non-systematic approach. Because there's a cry yesterday,
yep.
A multi-agency today. Because there is, we need to create a process, a sustainable, long-term, institutionalized process that can be able to show that we are serious on this war against corruption.
To those who believe politics doesn't affect them, I hope today has taught you how politics affect you directly.
Ruto simpigi kura. Amenajisi inchi. Bila kutumia hata kondom.
This is Selector Dede.
Wanadhani yasi bongo lala, ikikupita we bongo lala. Na walosema jana iwezi fika leo, tuko ground tunasoza. Hati Gituku mewaka sana, na mabisto na chafua rada. Na walosema jana iwezi fika leo, tuko ground tunasoza. Hakuna boka, peleke shuleni watasoma. Madaktari wamegoma, hapo sani Yesu atatuponya. Wambie punde imechoka sana, farasi bado ijapatikana. Ni mandai wanagonya na mali wanaponda, unakonda wananona. Mandamano, 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 amise mandamano, mandamano, mandamano.